5:05-ish, right, Dylan?
Yeah.
Starting out with the morning session, so just getting a little hydrated. Waiting for Jacob to get here, who trains with me on Monday morning, so a little bit of fun start today and start getting a little bit hydrated before we get moving and do our morning session. Just a fun way to kind of go through a block schedule and show you guys how it could look like for you guys, and also how you may pivot too, because today's going to be a little bit different than my usual Monday, but we'll dive in. Yeah, so Monday mornings is a bit of a different session. So Jacob is pursuing professional golf, and so I'll come out here and train. And today's session we'll do like a little bit of mobility, a little bit of speed. So it's not your typical hypertrophy work today, which will be fun. You guys will get to see quite a bit of different side of me, like the old strength and conditioning type of a mindset, the TPI level 1 certification I have, all that. So a little bit of a different session than you guys who just follow for the hypertrophy stuff, but a lot that can be used with hypertrophy athletes. It's been a lot of fun with Jacob. We'll give him a comment on kind of like what he's experienced, but yeah, he's gotten a lot faster very quickly, so it's been really cool to see. So we'll take you guys through a couple of different movements today and kind of start the day off with that 5 a.m. Monday session. One leg is much harder than it looks. I like this because the landmine's pulling you into rotation. So you're pulling into that like closed hip, which rotation around each hip requires that femur to internally rotate as you rotate around that hip. So it's good to load. We just gotta get him a little stronger before we put him in this, which is important. Like that's one of your biggest jobs as a coach, is to like pick the right level or variation of a pattern relative to where someone's at. But seeing them this week on this medicine ball variation, we're probably not far from being able to do this. You hear me bragging about you, Jacob?
Huh?
You hear me bragging about you?
That's the first.
Your favorite probably is.
Shut up.
I'm joking. Get that. Here we go. We're both doing variations of the similar intent, but different versions. So my single-legged RDL version with his, my dead bug variation with his. So different goals for different efficiencies, but similar, yeah, 3. What would you say the biggest difference in starting has been, like on course?
Stability.
Yeah.
Yeah, driver's normally a huge struggle for me as far as control goes.
Yeah.
And it feels like lately I'm like, if I miss one, it's either pull push. It's not, straight hook or straight, whatever.
Yeah.
Plus a little extra carry members.
Yeah, the ball speed's been
Up for sure.
Yeah. Hit the stability of a waterbed before.
This is what I normally get.
So those of you that watch this, the moment Rory made the putt, I ordered the Masters head cover.
That's crazy.
Because I've been wanting Rory to win a Masters for well over 10 years now, so I was like, if he wins it, I'm gonna buy it, of course. He wins. So I train. My rule's a little bit more like, make sure he does things right, but I have golf gloves too this year, so I need to make sure my training is moving me in the right direction. But I'll never stop hypertrophy work. It's just kind of in my DNA at this point.
What are the golf goals this year?
Really just get back to tournament golf. Feel comfortable under pressure. Do a couple qualifiers, just see how I do.
So we'll do US Mid-Am qualifier and Texas Amateur qualifiers. We'll see how those go. And then I'll see if I do it anymore. I might try to do Texas as a match play event for Mid-Ams.
Luke, you're gonna do the TSO quals or no?
Not TSO.
Really? Okay.
I'm not ready for that, man. I mean, mini tour professionals there.
I think you playing good, consistent to do it.
Yeah.
At least get yourself into it, have fun at the event.
Yeah, me playing well, I could. But if the bad glute shows up, then that glute is so tight. My wife's gotten into tennis. So I'm the obligatory helper practice person. And I am not a tennis player. I do not look like a tennis player.
Come on, man, I can still see you on a little short skirt.
Could you imagine my big ol' ass showing up in a mini tennis skirt?
I paid for it, man.
With the golf tan, like
Yeah.
tan shins and then like pasty white thighs, little butt cheeks hanging out.
You don't have to say
Focus. That's insane. I've already called you Bambi, I think once.
Cut that out.
Baby deer syndrome.
I'll post the side by side of his first week single-legged RDL versus his current.
Luke, you gotta get me one of the scorecard holders that says Bambi on it. I would love it. I would love
Could
it.
you imagine walking down the middle of the fairway?
I rep it. 100%.
Bambi sticking out of your pocket. I'll even put like the little cartoon character on there, like
I was gonna say, get him a driver cover.
the driver head cover that
I'm
says
sure there's a
Bambi.
Bambi driver
dude,
cover
yeah.
out there.
You gotta
I
be.
rep it. 100%.
It's so true though, like you were, I don't know. Like it's no shocker that you've gotten like 3 to 4 miles per hour faster. Just like stability wise, like you could be the strongest person in the world, but if you can't stabilize it, it's not gonna go anywhere. It'd be like, if you squat 415, but then you put a trampoline or a Bosu ball under you trying to squat 415, like it's not gonna go well. It's the same concept. Step back.
Yeah.
Remember, maintain posture. So part of golf is posture maintenance with a push and pull at the same time, so unilateral. So this is like the pull side of it, where we'll use lead leg foot pressure to maintain posture. And then he's loading the lat with some rotation.
The action, like coming back, but it doesn't feel hard, but
That's why it's like, it's so different compared to bodybuilding, because like in bodybuilding, like when you set up athletes in a row, you're externalizing that process for them. So like you've got like a bench up where they're bracing against the bench, or they've got like a foot pad or something, where here it's like, there's so much posture maintenance required.
yeah. Same thing with the single-legged RDLs, dude. Like, once you get the weighting figured out on that, it's not the hardest thing in the world. It's just if your weight's going 5 different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, you figure it out.
This is gonna be like my No Switch Fitness
I was
corner.
about to say, I just saw the little,
Yeah, so that's, a client made that for me in 22. That was a fun year. So that's gonna be there. I'm gonna have my No Switch Fitness logo. And then I'm gonna have like the Jordan with golf stuff all down this wall. So this will be like my athlete wall. And then I'm gonna have probably J3 coaching and maybe J3 University light up logos here.
you gonna get
Or I'm gonna hang it here on this brick wall. I haven't decided. It's a wrap. It is 5:59, 6 o'clock. So next block is work. Usually it's work until Ellie gets up. Today it's work until the emergency content meeting. So that's a little bit of a shift today, which you guys will see some later, but usually from like 7 to 8:30 is get Ellie, or 7:15 to 8:30 is like get Ellie up, breakfast, take her to school, all that jazz, because it's dad's responsibility on Mondays. But today will be breakfast and then a little bit of work until 8:15, so I'll get that extra hour and 15 of working. But emergency content meeting will take the place of that hour and 15, so I'm not really gaining much hours on today. But that's the nice thing about a block schedule, is when things shift and move, you just kind of plug it in place so you can keep your day productive. But go eat breakfast and then get on the work day. 5 out of 7 days a week, I'm putting my off for that counter.
Hey, you only got one more. Come on now for the video.
No pressure, Luke.
Watch it splat right on the floor.
There we go. Look at that. You would think, like, now that I'm not competing, that I would choose foods that aren't bodybuilding related, but that is not the case.
Even just chicken with eggs is crazy.
It's not that crazy.
Hey,
People
you
do
steak and eggs, beef and eggs. You could do
I'll do beef and eggs some mornings.
bacon and
I
eggs.
have
Just
chicken
literally about
breast.
any meat actually would probably be good with eggs except chicken.
It's so judgmental towards chicken.
That's
It's
true.
like
I'm sorry,
Inception.
it's a little early this morning.
It's like Inception, right? Chicken and egg.
Yeah, that's true.
Which one comes first? So you put the chicken in the egg. You get more protein. And you're also reuniting family.
I was just gonna say, there's something a little like almost weird about that, bringing them back together.
My wife grew up in Mississippi, and I grew up in Alabama on the Gulf Coast, so classic toddler book for the young ones around here. And then Merritt Golf Club, you guys will get to see a little bit of that today, hopefully. See how the work goes, but and there goes Brew. You let out. So that first little work block has gotten me through admin work for J3 coaching, almost all of my check-ins, still got a handful to do. And then what I'll probably do for the rest of this work block once I finish those check-ins up is I've got some creative work I have to do. So writing on the coursework side, I'll do some like stuff that has to be basically like kind of flow work type stuff before I head out to the next block. Sometimes I don't get that time to do that depending on how long the check-ins take, but mostly everybody's process is moving pretty smooth, so been pretty smooth morning so far. And the emergency content meeting went really well, so we've got an extra meeting today at the end of the day that got added. So that's the thing about block schedules is I found that if you're extremely structured with how you do things on the day-to-day, when emergencies come up, you can kind of shift it, tasks that you have to get done to a different part of the day, and just make sure they get done. So I did have some follow-ups with some clients that were interesting because I just had a pro compete at Vancouver Isle. She got third in a massive WPD class, so that was awesome. So I had to get like making sure she was back on plan and rolling and kind of getting her moving in the right direction, because it looks like we're going to be doing Toronto to try to get that Olympia qualification. So we'll have that done and then go from there. Focus. Goated. The best nut butter you could ever find. Very important in the protein bowl construction to make sure that the nut butter goes on the oatmeal first before putting the frozen fruit. You want the nut butter to melt into the oatmeal as it's sitting there, and then cover the top with the frozen fruit. I'm also very particular about the frozen berries. ATP has a couple variations. They have one that has strawberries in it, which is a no-go. It has to be triple berry blend. So there's blackberry, raspberries, and blueberries. And we'll do 200 grams. It's for a massive antioxidant blast, but very particular. The frozen strawberries are the no-go.
killer lesson with Jordan. Just tendencies tend to get a little bit too far away from the ball. This time was like too tilted over and too far away from it, which exaggerates my tendencies of quick and a little inside into out path. So staying a bit taller, get a little bit closer, work on the rotation a bit. So letting the rotation be a little bit of a left bump into the rotation rather than just rotation. So it's great stuff. Much more stable club face. So just wrap that lesson up. So we just kind of wrapped up that third meal, come back, finish up a little bit of work. Got one more call to do today, and then family time, best time. Emily will go get Ellie will come home from school, and get a little bit of family time together. So before she goes to bed, so super excited for that. But first, this last little work block, just shallow work. So late check-in, so for the clients that checked in late, and a little bit of shallow admin work, and then the call. So we'll wrap that up. Bit of an odder Monday here. Funny that we ended up filming today because it ended up being not typical with Emily putting the key in the bag and all that. So we'll just sit here and knock this last word block out and rock and roll.